If your Unreal Engine 5 game is running low, crashing, or just feels sluggish, I can almost guarantee it's because of one blueprint node. You've used it, I've used it, everyone starts with it. And nobody tells you that it's quietly destroying your entire game's performance. This is the event tick, and you need to stop putting everything inside of it. So right over here I have a little item that I can go ahead and pick up. But you see, this item is built entirely using the event tick. So if I open this blueprint up, you can see that we have this little event tick running a specific workflow. Now, first things first, what is even the event tick? What does this do? Well, the event tick basically executes every single frame. So if your game is running at 60 frames per second, you're executing the event tick 60 times per second, aka you're executing all of this 60 times per second. And you see, for this little example of my item, this is pretty much nothing. It won't really make a big impact. But as soon as you have just a couple more things going on that consume a lot more, it starts to add up, and over time the game will be affected by the performance. So today I'm going to show you exactly how you can optimize the event tick and when you should use it and when you should not use it. So going back to my floaty little item over here, right? I have this event tick where every single frame, as you might remember, we are checking the amount of distance between the player character and the item itself. And if this distance is less than 100 units, well, we go ahead and pick up the item and we remove it from the vault because we already picked it up, right? This is what's working on right now. But the thing is that even though this works and it does the trick, it makes absolutely no sense to check every single frame the distance between the player and the actual item, because there's no reason. You're just wasting resources. Instead, we should just check when there's actually a collision, when the player goes into the actual item's kind of surroundings. And we can do this through a quick thing in the viewport, which is a collision. So we can add a sphere collision, which I'm gonna call the trigger, and this will be what impacts the actual trigger, right? So when the player enters in this invisible, transparent, sphere that the player cannot see while he plays the game, we will actually pick up the item. And the difference between this and the event tick is that, well, this just plays one time when the player hits and impacts, when we actually need to do something, not every single frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make this a bit bigger. We could do like 50, for example. And then if I scroll down, we can see that we have a bunch of events that we can do this. And then we have the onComponent begin overlap. When something begins to overlap, right, to go inside of this trigger, we can do something. And in this case, that's where we want to check if it's the player. And if it's the player, we want to go ahead and do the following, which is to pick up the item. So in other words, I could just go ahead and unplug these two things, just put this here, and literally that's it. We could just go and say, okay, has tag, and then we could check if it has the tag player, so that, for example, if an enemy came and overlapped with the sphere, it wouldn't interact with it, but a player, yes. So let me just add a quick branch over here, and with that I can just plug this in, and so there we go. And I'm gonna quickly open the third person character, right? I'm gonna go to the tag in the defaults, and then just also make sure that the player has this tag so it can actually interact with the item. Okay, so now if I press play and I go back into my floating little item and I interact with it, I picked it up. But you see, this is 100 times more performant, and it does exactly the same thing. It has the same result, but we build it in a more optimized way. And of course, for this little example, there's not really a difference, okay? But again, this is like showcasing what would happen if you had like a billion more things. Imagine that your item didn't only just check for the player's distance and then pick it up or not. Imagine if it did many more things. If it did like crazy calculation, if it did like an animation spinning around every frame. I don't know, crazy things, right? That would be an issue, right? So there we go. We fixed the part 1 that we needed. But let me go ahead and show you guys another example so you can understand this concept even better, and you kind of know the different ways that there's around event ticks, right? There's different workarounds which are way more performant. So in this case, let me open up the third person character, because right over here I built a very simple health regen system. So basically in the event tick, aka every single frame, right, we check if the health is less than 100. And if the health is less than 100, well, we go ahead and add 1 more of health, right? And we update the health, right? And I have this little clamp node where you just make sure that the health will be always between 0 and 100, but just ignore that, okay? Basically, in other words, every frame I check if we need to regen the health, right? We add it back up, right? And we update the health so that, it's working. But again, there's absolutely no reason to do this in the event tick, and that's why we're gonna go ahead and move this into a different type of workaround, which is called a timer by event. And this is so powerful. I use it all the times. You probably have seen it in many of my tutorials. So imagine that I was a beginner dev that had no idea about Unreal Engine. I could simply just go ahead and grab my tool Build Buddy, which is an overlay that is always watching your screen, and it can help you in Unreal Engine. And I can just go here into ask, and then I can click in new chat and say, how can I optimize this health regen system to not be inside the event tick? And literally you can ask it whatever you want, right? It doesn't matter if it's blueprints, if it's about widgets. This is literally your expert in Unreal Engine. And now Build Buddy is analyzing your screen, it's looking at your existing blueprint nodes, and it's preparing a custom step-by-step guide that you can easily follow, that is literally customized for your specific case. And here we go, we have the first step, which is to create a custom event for the health regeneration. So it's saying that we need to right click in an empty space in the event graph and search for add custom event. So let's go ahead and do this. Custom event, here it is, and let's name it regenerate health, like it's suggesting me to do so. There we go, perfect. And now I can click on next step, and now Build Buddy will again analyze the screen and check if you actually did this step, which was to create that custom event. So now we have the second step, which is from the regenerate health custom event, drag from the pin and add a get health node. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the health over here, perfect. And now next step, and now from the get health node, we need to drag from the output and basically add a float addition node. And then the second spin will be something like 1 or 0.5. Let's just do like 1 and click on next step. Now from here we drag set health, perfect, and we plug this into the regenerate health. Great, let's go ahead and watch the next step. And the thing is that if you make any mistake, Build Buddy is always watching each modification that you make for each step, so it will just guide you to actually go and have the result that you need. From the set health node, drag of its expungement, and we need to do clamp. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna just go here and do a clamp. Perfect. So let me do the clamp float over here, and this is literally the way to do so that you can keep the health in the range of 0 and 100, right? So you cannot have like 200 of health, right? And that's how Build Buddy can go ahead and help you throughout your Unreal Engine journey and literally just guide you step by step on what you exactly need to do. I built this tool and since I built it, I've been using it every single day. And if you want to try it, you can download it for free with the first link in the description, so you check it out. But now let's just close this and just continue, go ahead and building this. I just want to now go a bit faster. We don't need Build Buddy for the next steps, because I'm gonna show you how we can make the tick more performant a bit faster. So now we have this where we can regenerate our health, but we need to go ahead and make sure that we can call this whenever we need, right? And this has to be every certain amount of time. But instead of doing it every tick, which is a bit too frequent, let's go ahead and make this every like 1 second or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this up right over here, and I'm gonna right click and add a begin play. Okay, the begin play basically executes as soon as you press play. The game starts. So from there, I can use this node, which is called the set timer by event, okay? And this set timer by event, you can allow it to execute another custom event that you might have built. In this case, we can use the regenerate health. And then we can do this how often we want. So for example, every second, and we want to enable looping because, it has to always be, regenerating our health. And literally that's it. So basically when the game starts, we'll begin a new timer, which will loop every 1 second, which is executing this. And now, because of this, we're not, doing this in event tick every frame, 60 times per second. It's crazy. We're just doing it 1 second when we need it, right? We have even more control about the rate that we want to regenerate the health on. And one thing that I can do is also go ahead and check if the health is less than 100, which is going to prevent us from, just doing unnecessary things. I mean, we have the clamp, right, that Build Buddy suggested, but if we do a little branch, it's a bit even more performant. Okay, perfect. So now we literally build this new system that is way more performant for a health regeneration, and now you know how to use set timer by events. But I'm not finished with this tutorial because I want to show you guys one last example that is used by every single dev in Unreal Engine when you create widgets, and everyone does this wrong. You're literally killing your FPS, and you're doing this 100% right now, which is the following. If I open up, for example, this health bar that I have as a widget, you can check that in the health bar, right, we created this binding. And if I click on this binding and check it out, which is over here, we can see that we are accessing the player character, we're casting to the third person blueprint, and then we're accessing the final health, dividing this by 100, so we have a range from 0 to 1, because the progress bar only goes from 0 to 1, and then plugging that into the return value. In other words, we are basically updating the health percent based on the actual health of the player blueprint. But the thing is that we're doing this via the binding, workflow of Unreal Engine widgets. And the problem with this is that this is literally running, again, every single frame. We're every frame checking for this and doing this. And again, for this example, there's nothing crazy going on, but imagine if you actually do something crazy, right? It will start to add up and lower the FPS over the period of time. So what we can do instead of basically, doing this craziness every single frame, we can just do it when we need. So right now in our third person character, we have the health regeneration, and obviously every time that this, goes through, we need to update the actual widget, and we need to do this right over here. So what we can do is basically, first of all, access the actual widget. In this case, I have this variable with the widget reference. You basically will end up with this when you add it to the screen. And then what I can do is basically get the specific progress bar. Now, if you cannot access your progress bar or anything like that through the blueprints, you just need to make sure that in the designer, when you select your thing, you have is variable enabled, okay? And that's how you can basically access it through, other blueprint. And then I can just use the set percent node, which is right over here, and I can set this with the actual health that I need to plug in. But remember that the percentage in Unreal Engine go from 0 to 1, so I just need to divide this by 100 because that's my maximum health that you can actually get. Just plug this here, and there we go. That's it. It was literally work. So now we are only going ahead and updating the progress bar when we actually update the health. We are not doing it when we are not doing anything, which makes no sense. And that's another use case of what you can do. And that's it, guys. That's how you can go ahead and make your Unreal games more performant with these little workarounds that basically stop using the event tick as much. But I also want to make sure that you know that the event tick will still be useful in many cases, okay? In many cases, maybe you need to be as accurate as doing something specifically every single frame, like basically a very smooth animation or interpolation or something similar. For those cases, you might still need an event tick, and it's completely good to use it. But for many cases, like you're doing, guys, like for example, you know, checking to update the health, or going ahead and checking for, you know, an actual distance of the player if it has collided with something, you know, you can avoid using the event tick. And guys, if you want to check out Build Buddy for free, the little note is in the description. Check it out because it's absolutely amazing. It will literally help you make your games and learn Unreal Engine 10 times faster, because it's having the context of your Unreal Engine window and editor and project and all that stuff, which is amazing. And now, yes, with all that said, bye bye.